Hello, everyone. This is Yoko. In this channel, I'll be sharing information in English about events happening in China that may not be known in other countries, based on the information I've gathered from various media sources. Since English is not my native language, I'll be using an AI speaker to read out the content in English. I would appreciate your comments on the video content. If you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing to the channel and supporting it. Now, let me introduce you to the wild world of China. This time, I'll be talking about the current situation in China where young people are paying to work and the situation with private funds. Last year, while working at a company in China, there was a person who suggested that if you are gaining experience and learning skills at the company, you should pay the company in return. This idea briefly became a topic of discussion, the notion of working but being charged money. It makes you wonder, what's going on, getting money deducted while working? However, the argument goes that if you are gaining social experience and learning job skills at a company where you are allowed to work, it's similar to attending school. Just like you pay money to attend school, the logic is that you should pay for gaining social experience and learning job skills. Some people found this idea intriguing, and it gained attention. Of course, on the internet, there were also voices questioning whether such a ridiculous idea could exist, working but not receiving a salary and having to pay money. But if you ask why those who work should pay, the reasoning goes that since you are gaining social experience and learning job skills at the company similar to attending school, you should pay. This perspective gained attention, although there were not many voices supporting it. The background to this title is the existence of such discussions. In other words, the story is about people who, despite working, cannot receive money, and moreover, this situation is justified. In China, stories of not getting paid despite working have become quite common. However, in this case, it is not about not getting paid for work that should naturally be compensated but about people willingly working under the condition of not receiving any compensation. This is the story introduced in this context. Now, let's take a look at another example. This time, it's about a television station in Hubei province. The company was recruiting, and someone applied for the position. Unfortunately, the person was rejected. However, along with the rejection, the company sent a message saying, "How about working as an intern?" The content of the message was that the internship period would be 3 months, and there might be overtime. Moreover, there would be a cost for internship supervision, and the person should pay 500 yuan, about 10,000 yen, per month. In other words, in China now, there are cases where people are made to work under the name of an internship, and they are required to pay for it. This practice is quite widespread. This system is a collaboration between companies and schools. Companies not only independently recruit interns or students but also collaborate with schools for recruitment. From the company's perspective, having interns allows them to not only have individuals work without paying salaries but also charge money as internship management fees. This system is not uncommon nowadays. In the past, one might have thought that in communist countries, workers are protected. However, looking at these examples, it becomes clear that communist countries are actually ruled by authoritarian regimes, and these dictators only consider their own convenience. Young people find themselves in a situation where they work for free and gain no benefits. The idea that communism protects workers and brings equality to society seems far from the truth. For the Chinese, this is not surprising. The current Chinese economy is in a slump, leading to a rapid deterioration of company performance. Companies want to cut labor costs as much as possible, and some aren't even paying the salaries they should. In such a situation, the practice of companies making people work for free under the guise of internships and charging money as internship management fees might become more common in the future. If other companies adopt this model, those not paying salaries might have a competitive advantage. Therefore, without proper regulation of these practices, there is a tendency for things to go in a bad direction. Just recently, there was an incident in Japan, and in the comments section, several people mentioned that unpaid overtime, still prevalent in Japan, is an issue. Similar situations are occurring here, with companies making people work under the guise of internships and even charging money for it. This practice is becoming widespread in China. If these practices are not regulated, companies that cut costs by exploiting free labor under the pretext of internships may gain a competitive advantage. This creates a situation where companies not paying salaries might become more common in the future. If more companies adopt this model, others may follow suit, thinking they won't face strict penalties since the government remains silent. This puts people in vulnerable positions resorting to illegal means, negatively affecting even legitimate businesses. Now, in China, there's another concerning situation involving the affluent class. I want to share a recent incident about a private fund called Rock Capital, based in Xinjiang, which targeted the less affluent. The head of this fund, who previously worked at Goldman Sachs from 2008 to 2011 and later joined Ping Group, suddenly disappeared on the company's payday. This representative, with a background in a well-known financial industry, established Rock Capital in 2012 and, as of 2022, managed around 1.7 billion yuan. However, significant funds had reportedly flowed out of the fund, and the representative's sudden disappearance has left employees without their salaries. While the details are unclear at this stage, the act of disappearing without any communication suggests a lack of integrity and a probable intention not to fulfill financial commitments. In the current situation, where the economy is declining, such actions by individuals holding large sums of money may become more common. People who don't want to attract attention might think about entrusting their funds to private funds, especially if promised returns are attractive. However, as seen in this case, there's a risk of mismanagement or even a Ponzi scheme. In this instance, the individual had a personal fund, making it challenging for those affected to pursue legal actions. Unlike cases involving large organizations, this incident raises concerns about accountability and recovery. As more of these incidents emerge, it's likely that the wealthy in China are becoming increasingly cautious about the safety of their assets. In conclusion, the economic downturn in China is causing previously successful strategies to fail, putting those who thought their wealth would automatically grow in a position where they might lose everything. This presents a complex situation that warrants attention as it unfolds. This concludes the discussion for now. Until next time.